right, now touch the number on the bed. So you're like touching it, looking at it, make sure they see that you're touching the bed number. Hey guys, Sardina Great here, back again with a BMT related video. Today I'm going to tell you guys about my first night experience at BMT. So starting from the hotel, going all the way until waking up the next morning at basic training at Lackland. So the first thing that happened that day was I was staying at my grandparents' house because they lived closer to the MEPS that I was going to, because you go to MEPS before you ship out again. So you go to MEPS 2 times at least. The very first time for processing, and then the second time for you to ship out. You're gonna go to a hotel the day before your shipping date. So let's say you ship on March the 15th, you're gonna be going to a hotel on March the 14th. And so you're gonna leave from your house or your recruiter's office and go from there to a hotel, like a nice little hotel. They set it for you. I talked about it in the very first video about MEPS. It's the same hotel. So anyway, my granddad dropped me off at the hotel. He bought me Chick-fil-A before that, and I was just ready. I was ready to become an airman, and I was full with Chick-fil-A, and it was a great time. So you go to the hotel and you wait for more people that are shipping and going to MEPS the next day to come in and fill up, like it's like a lobby. And once it fills up, then they're gonna give you your room keys, and you're free to hang out, and you can even go outside of the hotel, do whatever you want until a certain time. I believe it's about 9 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. But you want to get your rest anyway. You have to be up and downstairs in the lobby area where everybody joins up the next morning at 4:30 a.m. So this is the start of your day from 4:30 all the way until maybe the next morning. So you're gonna be up for a really long time when you get a basic training. So they tell you that you need to be downstairs by 4:30, and I was like, hey, I'm ready for this. I'm gonna get down 15 minutes early. So I got down there at 4:15, and so many people beat me to it. There was people down there that they were probably down there since like 4 o'clock because the lobby was almost full by the time I got there. So if you want to get out there and you want to, actually they serve breakfast also. So like if you want to get breakfast like sooner, I get down there as soon as possible so you can get a seat and you can be seated close to the door, because you bring all your luggage with you and everything, so you can put your bag down wherever you want to sit to eat breakfast. Well, they say be down there by 4:30, but the ball starts rolling like at about 4:15. So I got there just on time. People that were getting in at 4:30, like they were late. So I mean, it's best to be early. So unlike the first trip to MEPS, you're not gonna take a urinalysis test this time. So please do not overdrink on water and not use the bathroom, because it will be a bad time for you. You don't need to do that. So there's going to be no urinalysis this time you go to MEPS, so don't worry about drinking a whole lot of water. Obviously stay hydrated, but don't overdo it, because you don't have to force yourself to pee. So this time to MEPS, you're not going to do as much as you did the first time at all. This time is kind of going to be smooth sailing. So all you're gonna have to do is you're gonna strip down like you did the first time. You're not gonna get a physical done, but they're just gonna make sure you don't have any cuts, new piercings that weren't told about, new tattoos, or anything like that. So I'd advise, and your recruiter should also tell you that don't get any tattoos or new piercings after you've already started the MEPS process and everything, because it's just like things that they gotta add to it, and it could even stop you from leaving. Also, you just did like a height and weight to make sure that you're still qualified to leave and everything like that. Females actually had to take a pregnancy test also, just to make sure not pregnant going into basic training. Besides those tests, you just got I think it was a hearing test and a vision test. So vision goes all the way from depth perception to your eligibility to see color and things like that. After all your medical tests are done, you're going to have just a whole lot of paperwork to finish signing. You're going to go speak to a liaison again. This is when the real wait begins. You are going to be waiting for a long time. If your MEPS was as busy as mine was, you're going to be waiting a really long time. I think me and the people that were shipping out that day, we waited in MEPS for about, I want to say, four hours, and that's just like sitting down, like waiting, not doing anything, just chilling out, waiting to start our lives. The way it's gonna work after the medical test, you're gonna paperwork, and then you're gonna swear in. And after you swear in, you are in. To the swear-in ceremony, it's in this nice little room. It looks nothing like the rest of the building. I guess it's because it's like a ceremonial room. It has like the flags and stuff in the background. And this is where you swear in to the military, to the Air Force specifically in our case. But people from all other branches, they're joining all their branches, go to MEPS. And you can swear in with somebody joining a different branch. But, it was a large amount of Air Force people leaving at this time, so I was with all Air Force. So you're gonna swear in. You can have family come to your ceremony. It lasts for about not very long. It's like 5-10 minutes. They're gonna tell you what to say. They're gonna teach you how to stand at parade rest and everything. Yeah. And I think the big deal about family coming to that is just that that's the last time that they're really going to be able to see you, because, well, until, after basic training. That's the last time. So they're going to be like, all right, hugs, kisses. Your family can record it if they want to. And then you got to say bye to your family for a little bit and go on to the next phase. After you're done with your swearing, you're going to go into a room and you're going to get your itinerary. They're going to tell you what your flight number is, what your seat is, what time the flight is. You're also going to get a voucher for $25 to go and buy your very last meal until you get out of basic training, of course. This is good for any restaurant pretty much at the airport. I got $25 worth of Chick-fil-A. Yeah, so I got a bunch of chicken sandwiches, a bunch of waffle fries, whole lot of Polynesian sauce. You need that. And chicken tenders, a bunch of cookies. And no, I did not finish all of it. I know it's a little chubby, but I could not finish all of it. I gave some of the stuff away, but I definitely ate 3/4 of it. But I was using my whole $25 voucher. I wasn't just gonna let that, I wasn't gonna let that go to waste. You can only use it at one restaurant. You can't use $5 here and $5 there, and you can't use it at a store or anything like that. You can only use it at a restaurant, and it's a one-use thing. So if you don't use all the money on it, it's after you get your food voucher, all your flight information, they're gonna put you and everybody else who's shipping from your MEPS onto a bus, and you are going to journey to the airport. They're gonna make it clear to let you guys know that you should not tell people where you're going. Just say you're going to summer camp or something. Also, I wouldn't advise wearing an Air Force shirt for multiple reasons. This is, you don't want to draw any unnecessary attention to you. They told me this at MEPS also. Also, when you go to your MTI, they'll have a fun time with it if you're wearing an Air Force shirt. So I'd advise going with a clear shirt, or a shirt that I have on, just something plain, not anything too out. So for me, I had 2 flights. I had a flight to Dallas, Texas, and then I had a connecting flight from Dallas to San Antonio, Texas. And San Antonio is where Lackland is at. You can use your voucher, your $25 voucher, at anywhere along that way. You can use it at Dallas, or you can use it at San Antonio. So what's gonna happen is, when you get to San Antonio, you are gonna be released into this area, a food court area, and it's just gonna be pretty much everybody who's about to go to basic training. There's gonna be a bunch of restaurants. You can get something to eat, and you can stay there for, I really want to say, as long as you want. But my advice is to get downstairs as soon as possible and just get things started. But that also is a good time to call your family, call your wife, your husband, your daughter, your son, your kids, your family, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, your dog, anybody. Call them and let them know how the flight was, that you're there safe, and you're about to go to BMT. You're gonna be able to call them, I believe it's the next day, but of course you want to get a last word in there before you actually start your process. So in that food court are your last final moments of freedom. After that, you're gonna go down the steps, and just remember this, because I remember when I went, I had no idea where to go. Like, when we went to the food court, they didn't really tell us where to go. They just said, you know, go eat and then go report. They didn't say where to, but there's this big, like, escalators. You'll go down them, and as soon as you go down, you look on the left, and you're going to see a desk with people in, just in ABUs, so military members. I don't remember what rank they were. They're more than likely NCOs, more than likely also MTIs. And what you do, you're going to line up. I was like one of the first people to just kind of rush down there because I wanted to get it over with. I wanted to get started, you know. So you're gonna go line up, and they're gonna ask for your ID and your orders or your contract, something paperwork wise. So make sure you have all your paperwork handy and ready to give whenever anybody asks for it, you know, Air Force, of course. So after you go to those people in ABUs, they're gonna tell you to go sit down and wait for the bus. And this is when all the smiles are they're cut out. No more smiles. This is serious. You're about to be in basic training, in boot camp. So you're gonna sit down, you're gonna wait, and then the bus is gonna pull up, and they're gonna be like, "All right, let's go, let's get on the bus, let's go." And you know that's how it starts. You're gonna start walking out to the bus. You're gonna get on the bus, and it's about I want to say 30 to 40 minute drive from the San Antonio airport to Lackland Air Force Base. It's not that long of a bus ride. I was actually sitting on the bus with somebody that was in my flight. That I didn't know that was gonna be my flight, but they ended up being on my flight, and that was pretty cool. You get to Lackland. I know a lot of you, if you've watched like Air Force videos, you've seen that they pick up your bags, drop your bags, pick up your bag, drop it. They didn't do that with me. I don't know if it's because I was in what they call the Disneyland dorms, which is like the newer dorms. They run a little bit differently, but or if they just cut that all together, because they never did that. When actually there was a master sergeant that got on the bus, and he was just like, "All right, so are you guys ready?" And he was smiling, and it was really misleading. You know, we were all super confused. Oh, and also by this time it was, I want to say maybe 8 o'clock at night, somewhere around that time. It was nighttime. I remember he got on the bus, and he was like, "All right, you guys ready? Let's go." All smiles, just misleading us. So after he gave us the "okay, let's go," we all started piling off of the bus, and I mean, he asked us if we were excited to be here. We were excited to be there, and we all piled off the bus, and we got in lines, and then we walked inside the building, and they put us in like this big room, and they asked us if we wanted to eat. They provide you with Oreos and a turkey sandwich. They call it a box nasty, but it's not that nasty. It's a nice little turkey sandwich. They put a lot of turkey on it, or you can get a ham sandwich. I don't like ham, but I'm sure some of you like ham. Then you get Oreos. Who doesn't like Oreos? They give you enough time to eat it. I would eat it, honestly, if I were you. I did not eat it personally, just because I wasn't hungry. I ate $25 worth of Chick-fil-A. I was not hungry. I would recommend eating it if you didn't eat a lot, or you know, if you get hungry, because you're not gonna eat that night, depending on the time you get in, which more than likely you're gonna get in pretty late, so you're not gonna get to eat until the next morning. So I'd eat the box nasty. It's not nasty. I don't know why they call it that. After you leave that room that you're in, where they give you food, you're gonna have other trainees that have been there for a few weeks that are usually like in med hold. They're gonna be speaking to you, just explaining a few things, answering any questions that you have. But I mean, if you're keeping up with the videos, you shouldn't have any questions by the time you get there, right? Then after you leave that room, they're gonna give you your backpack with all the items issued to you that I talked about in the last video. Also, they're gonna give you an Apex jacket, which I also talked about in the last video. So, I mean, if you don't know, just check out the last video. Yeah, so after you leave that room, you're gonna go to a bigger room, and there's gonna be a whole lot of people in there. Like, there's a lot of chairs, but all the chairs are gonna be filled up, and then you're gonna have people like standing on the side of the walls. Like, it's gonna be packed, because it's everybody who's pretty much coming, you know, to BMT. Of course, like all the new recruits, all the trainees, everybody's gonna be wearing civilian clothes, and gonna be waiting. And I was waiting in that room for such a long time. I gotta say that I was in that room where everybody's at for a long long time. I don't even know what time cap to put on it. Probably about 4 hours or something like that. And that's just sitting there waiting for your name to get called so you can go find your flight and then go to your dorm and then go to sleep. That's literally, at this point, all you want to do is go to sleep and wake up for the next day. But you're just going to be sitting there. And once again, you're going to have med-hold trainees explaining things to you, helping you out, so you're prepared for what's thrown at you. You should already be prepared. I want to say after about 4 hours, I heard my name called and I was excited. I was like, yes. I didn't really do all that because I was extremely tired. I had no energy to do that. I was just like, all right, let's go. Then we stood up and we stood in the line like, this is everybody that's going to be my flight. I had no idea what was going on, but this is everybody that's going to be my flight. And we stood there for another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then our MTI came. That's our military training instructor. You're going to get really familiar with them. They wear these black hats. After my MTI came for us, after about 45 minutes, he was like, all right, let's go. And this is game on, game on. Like, this isn't the guys who are at the airport that were, saying, all right, let's get on the bus. No, this is a whole different type of, let's go. This is the MTI, and the MTI was like, all right, let's go. And so we started moving outside, and he's like, all right, hurry up, let's go. Move fast, let's go. It's gonna be drilled. It's gonna be drilled into your head. You're going to hear that in your sleep. And they're like, hurry up, let's go. So we walk out of the main building and we start walking towards the squadron. The squadron is like where your dorms are, where you're going to live. So we start walking towards the squadron, and he shows us like where our emergency route was gonna be. Like if there's ever a fire or anything like that, he's like pointing to us like, if there's ever a fire, this is where you're gonna go. And he's like yelling, and we all have our flashlights out because it's dark and we don't know if we're supposed to march, and you're just walking really fast trying to keep up. You had your backpack and you got your civilian luggage, and you're just you're stepping. You don't know where you're going. It's dark. Once you arrive to the squadron, then what they're gonna have you do is repeat what your flight number is. So my flight number was 061, and they're gonna have you repeat what your dormitory number is. They're gonna tell you what it is. So my dormitory was 2 Bravo 2. We don't use A, B, C. It's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie in the military now. So they said, repeat after me, 2 Bravo 2. And we all have to repeat it, and then we wouldn't repeat it loud enough. They'd be like, you're just taking away from your own sleeping time. 2 Bravo 2. So, we had to yell it, and they're like, yell your flight number, all this stuff. We had to keep repeating it, and then finally we got to go upstairs. I don't even remember running up the stairs, but you go up the stairs to whatever room you're in, or to whatever your dorm is, and then as soon as you get in there, they're like, all right, there's beds, and there's the wall lockers, and you're gonna go to your bed, you're gonna go to find a bed, and you're gonna look for the number. When you look for the number, touch it. And then so everybody runs up, you run up to find a bed. You don't even have time to think and be like, all right, I want this bed or this bed. You just run to whatever open bed. You walk really fast as they're telling you to hurry up, let's go. As you're doing this, so you run to the bed, you find it, you're just like, you touch the bed number, and then they're like, the wall locker number, and then they're like, all right, now touch the number on the bed. So you're like touching it, looking at it, make sure they see that you're touching the bed number, and they're like, all right, that's where you're gonna be. Like that was a surprise. They tell you to put your backpack on top of your wall locker, and then after that, I really want to say they give you time to go and brush your teeth. I believe I'm almost positive. It's a little bit of a blur because there was a lot going on that night, but I'm pretty sure they give you time to go brush your teeth, or you can go use the bathroom, and then after that, you hit the hay. But by that time, it's gonna be about 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe later. They're gonna wake you up at 5:45 on the dot. So if you hear anybody tell you that they're gonna give you like 7 hours of sleep the first night because you got there late, they're lying to you, and don't believe a word they have to say, because no, you don't get your sleep. Not that night anyway. That first night you're gonna get about an hour and a half of sleep, and then you're gonna wake up in the morning. And I know a lot of people had different reactions. Like when I woke up in the morning, I was upset. Like I got up and I was like, what is going. It's like being like, interrupted in the middle of your sleep, because I literally was not even like the middle of my sleep, because I was asleep for what, an hour and a half, and then yeah, after we woke up, it's a blur from there. But I know a few other people, like they woke up and they were just like, some people didn't even wake up at Reveille. I'll play Reveille for you guys if you guys want to hear it. It's a terrible sound. I'm gonna play for you guys one time and one time only, because I hate Reveille and my roommate hates Reveille, and I don't want to put anybody through any kind of post-traumatic stress. So I'm gonna play really fast, just so you guys can know and be prepared for what you're gonna wake up to. Maybe you want to set your alarm to Reveille right now, so you can get used to waking up to it. It's a terrible thing. I would never do that right now, but it's a good thing to get used to. Yeah, so that really was it. That was my experience of going to MEPS and then shipping out to BMT. My very first night, up until the morning when I woke up confused and upset. But yeah, it definitely turned out great in the long run. I'm gonna start making videos about 0 through 1st week, 2nd through 3rd week, 4th and 5th week, and so on, just week progression. Do like 2 weeks per video, and just do that. If you guys want to hear about something else instead of that, you know what to do. Just let me know. Hit a subscribe, because we got videos coming every week. And so that's all for now, guys. Till next time.